Moving on to the ACC. The Louisville Cardinal taking on the undefeated Florida State Seminoles, coming in at number 4 in the CFP. Louisville looked like they could be one of the teams, like dark horses down the stretch that could steal a spot from one of these, bigger teams. And then, that loss to Kentucky at home. Oh man, that was just devastating for this team. They were number 10 going into that game, lost by 7. That was just a bad loss. They could have easily moved up to number 8. I don't think it would have had to Alabama. It would have moved up to 9. It would have caused some serious discussion saying, do they deserve to be in there if Alabama and Texas lose kind of thing. But that went out the window. That was a bad loss. So, actually, they're 14th in the CFP. I was looking at the power ratings. Florida State's 4th in the CFP. All they have to do is win. They win this game. I don't think there's any way you could justify what they've accomplished this season. They beat LSU week 1, and they beat on the road at Clemson, at the end of September, and they just survived, the ACC schedule. They beat a good Duke team by 3 scores. They beat Miami. They beat Florida on the road last week without their quarterback. I mean, it's you can say the eye test, the power ratings, whatever you want to say. This team's better than this. Florida State's earned their spot. If they win, they're in. I don't see any conceivable way that you could possibly say a Power 5 champ, no matter what conference it's in, goes undefeated, wins the last game of the season, wins their conference championship, while other one or other 2 team would be in, win their titles and say, no, this other team, even though they have 1 loss, is better than the undefeated Power 5 conference champ. I don't think it's possible. Florida State wins, they're in. They lose, they're out. It's simple as that. Because Ohio State's not playing, and Ohio State would need like all four things to happen. Even if only 3 happen, they're not getting in. So they would need 4 teams in this succession to lose. I think Ohio State would need Georgia to lose, Florida State to lose, Texas to lose, and then they'll actually need 3 of those teams. So either way, Florida State's in if they win. And I think this is going to be a brutal matchup. Florida State's only a 2.5-point favorite. I think everybody's looking a little much too into that last week against Louisville and Kentucky. Kentucky destroyed Florida. Florida then, took Florida State to the brink, and it was only a 9 points. So that game went down to the wire. And so now this team, without their quarterback, they're playing for a conference championship. The first ever time, by the way, Louisville's ever played for an ACC conference title. I think this is Florida State's 5th or 6th time they're playing for a conference title. Who do I think ultimately wins this game? How much they deserve to win? I do believe Louisville is going to come away with the upset, guys. And I think Louisville is going to obviously cover the 2.5 points. The numbers say they won't win. They're 9-28 as an underdog, while Florida State's 33-9 as a favorite. This game, maybe I'm basing too much on emotion, and Florida State, too much with the quarterback, and I don't know. I just think that Louisville's going to win this game, and they're going to move to 11-2, probably moving into the top 10, with that big win, but I think Florida State's going to be left out of the CFP. Just a brutal, terrible, unfortunate way to end your season, especially when you have a Heisman-level type quarterback playing for them and goes out with that brutal leg injury. It's just so bad for them. We wouldn't be having this same discussion if Jordan Travis was playing for this team. We'd be like, there's no chance. With their quarterback, they win, they're in. Either way. This one, it's like, do they look as good? So I think it's all going to be put to rest, though. All that talk's going to be for naught, because I think Louisville wins this game. They come away with a big upset and become their first time ever being ACC conference champs.